and welcome to Magical Marker, a game of Dungeons and Dragons and drawings. We're a bunch of cartoonists and illustrators who won't just be playing the game, but doodling what happens along the way. It's a PG-13 game of teens and tweens on their first big adventure on their own. Let's start by introducing our cast. Let's start with Boya.
Hello, I am Boya. My character's name is Bud. He is a 12-year-old warlock bugbear, and he travels with his friend Boxy, who is just a box, but maybe more than a box.
A lot more than a box. He's a special companion.
More than meets the eye.
And our singing bard is Priscilla.
Hello. I guess I am a stereotype. I play Ispuriel, a 17-year-old half-elf bard. Oh.
And Caitlin.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I play Zip. She is a drow fighter, and she's 16 years old.
And Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt. I play the cleric of the group, a Water Ganassi cleric by the name of Swell, who is he's usually a happy boy. Sometimes
Big
not.
himbo.
Yeah, he's getting smarter, one single point at a time.
Yeah, we had a slightly slow start tonight as people were just finishing up their leveling up from last week. I'm your Dungeon Master, Brian. I run all the NPCs, including Sutran, a magically animated severed hand of a spellcaster from decades ago who is searching for her other hand so she can magic herself back a body. Last week, you were on the island of Bright Palm, trying to figure out how to link up with Zip's sister, Mog. After a couple of sending spells, you discovered that she was in the White Wind Desert, many, many miles away. Casson, the painter, let you in on a secret that Auntie Britta had hidden away a super-fast vehicle in her art gallery that you might be able to use to go pick up Mog. Zip hopped in the driver's seat of the 6-seater bug-shaped mechanical speeder and had a blast driving around, while Swell and Ispuriel got motion sick. Brother Sarek, Casson, Revan, Crane, all the people that you were hanging out with in the tropical island of Bright Palm, all agreed to help Britta regain her soul while you were gone and supplied you with lots of food and water for the trip. You were even given some gems, but Boxy ate them as you discovered they were his food of choice. You flew off into the sunset and traveled many days over the ocean and desert until finally Zip spotted Mog walking through the sand dunes. Zip tried to do a super cool drift with the bug bot, but rolled the loner vehicle into a huge wipeout. Mog turned out to be a super positive, friendly, upbeat orc fighter who uses rune magic to increase her battle skills. You caught up, learned that she was on a quest for her and Zip's master Titus. When he lived here in the Glass Dominion, he heard whispers of a researcher who had learned what the Titans really are. And Mog has spent months following a trail that leads to a nearby red cliff. Mog hopped in the bug vehicle and drove you all to where there was a secret door in the side of the cliff. Swell spotted it. Mog's ritual opened it. And at that point, Zip was prompted by Swell to admit to her sister that she might have sent a boat of her dead ancestors after Mog, and to expect spectral trouble in the near future. Right now, though, an organic-shaped doorway leads into a tight passage in the mountainside, with sharp saw blades along the wall edges. How would you like to proceed?
Forward. Into the moor.
With saw blades along the edges.
Yeah. So it's,
like on the edges of the door inside, like in a ring? Or
So the door frame, if you remember, was a very organic sort of shape, which helped it hide. But then, like, if you go in a couple feet, there are these sharp little blades like this, and then there's another ring further back, and another one further back, and another one
it's
further
like a shark
back.
mouth.
Exactly. It's like a shark mouth cavern.
Reminding me of something from a popular sci-fi franchise as well.
Why would anyone build?
Sci-fi? What is that? I don't like the look of this. And he's going to look around and see if there's some sort of a hidden triggers or like maybe, well, in an area like this, it might be more magical than physical. He's looking for traps.
Well, if you're looking for physical, then you're going to do a perception or investigation. If you're looking for magical, then arcana.
I wave my hand at someone and say, uh, someone who has decent eyes. Look for any level plates or wires, buttons, that sort of thing. And I'm going to focus on Arcana.
I am going to cast. I just learnt this spell. Find traps.
Oh no.
Okay. Can you give me a description of Find Trap? Because I've never played a 5th edition game where somebody cast the spell, so I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, this is literally the first time I'm using it or have come across it. But I just learnt it as part of leveling up. So you sense the presence of any trap within range that is within line of sight. A trap, for the purposes of this spell, includes anything that would inflict a sudden or an unexpected effect you consider harmful or undesirable, which was specifically intended as such by its creator. Thus, the spell would sense an area affected by the alarm spell, a glyph of warding, or a mechanical pit trap, but it would not reveal a natural weakness in the floor, an unstable ceiling, or a hidden sinkhole. This spell merely reveals that a trap is present. You don't learn the location of each trap, but you do learn the general nature of the danger posed by a trap you sense.
So you know that ahead there is some sort of mechanical saw trap, and going forward you may get sawed by going too close to these saw blades.
Okay, so does it tell? It sense an area affected by it, so I can tell roughly where it is.
All right, so you know that this tunnel probably goes for maybe 100 feet, maybe a little more, and for the length of it, you believe that these saw blades could cause pain.
I will relay that to everyone using those words. There's a
Is Boreal going to just look at them at Swell and say, "Yeah, oh yeah, these oh yes, these sharp jagged teeth, they could cause pain. Fascinating."
No, it's a saw blade. I don't think it's the teeth. I think it's like something's going to pop out of the wall.
Have you not seen how a saw is used? I don't know why haven't I seen a saw is used actually. But
I know what a saw is. You cut wood with it.
it has
Also, bodies
teeth.
in this. Is that what you think this is? Do you think this is just one giant saw blade?
Consider a hole like this, and then it goes, and it conflicts.
Is this big enough for the bug to fly into?
No. This would be way too small. In fact, most of you would have difficulty getting through parts of this. You could step into the first part, but you think the further you go back, it could get pretty tight for most of you.
You should send your bat in.
How far down does the tunnel extend, or does it go on as long as I can see?
As far as you can see, unless you, I mean, I don't know how far you can see, but like I said, it was at least 100 feet when I told Swell.
Why are we here again?
There's a thing in the cave.
Mog's on a
Information.
mission.
Mog's on a mission, and it has information about where the Titans came from potentially, and what
Oh.
they are.
Oh,
That's good
So-
information to know.
well, how? In what form does the information take?
You
Like-
are not sure. Mog said, you ask Mog, and Mog says, the person who lived here was a researcher, or something like that, and had done a lot of looking into where they come from and what these things, where the Titans are, where they lived, where they're from. I don't know exactly. It's kind of vague. A lot of the information I've tried to find out, and Titus has tried to find out about the Titans, it's really difficult to find anything out. It's a lot of whispers. People know about there being a Titan that came to the surface and people fought it, but why did it come up, and where was it exactly? These sort of things, the questions, they don't really have answers. Most of the books I've looked in, none of the official libraries.
I'm gonna stick my sword in there.
Okay, your
Like,
sword is in the
stick it.
cave.
I'm starting to cast ritual or unseen serpent ritual.
All right.
Did it set off any of the traps?
Nothing happened when you did that.
I'm gonna like wave it around and maybe like run it up against the like teeth.
All right. You can feel that the teeth go clang, 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 clang. It's
Do they
a
look like
sharp
teeth?
metal.
Oh, they're metal.
do.
Okay.
They're like metal. If you're just tapping it, they're just going. They're not really doing anything. They just makes a metallic noise.
Okay. But with my passive perception of 18, do I see any tripwires or anything that would set off the saw blades?
You do not see anything that was set off the saw blades. East Boreal, I know you're doing a different thing now, but you were trying to do.
It was weird because I saw the number 17 on the die that rolled in D&D Beyond, but it says I rolled a 13, so I don't know what. But
Okay. Well, why don't you just re-roll? We'll take
Okay.
a fresh roll if we're not getting a straight answer.
that is a 9. Total.
9. No, you're not getting any real vibes from this.
The vibes, they are missing.
I'm going to put a foot inside the first, like just over that first precipice.
Okay. And you put it in between. So you're like 1 foot in between the saw blades, right?
No, I'm
Like
not
an-
going between the teeth. I'm just going to go put 1 foot over the line, like tippy toe over, and then bring it back.
Okay.
Like test the waters.
In between the two, like if there's 2 rows, your foot goes in between one row and the next row.
I don't know
as
how
you can-
far apart the rows are, but I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, you could probably put a foot between each of them.
Okay.
So you could put a foot, touch down on the ground, and then you're just pulling it back immediately.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
And then you shake it all about.
All right, I'm going to take my shield off and hold it ready. And I'm going to step bodily entirely over that first line.
Okay. You are now standing in between the two, and it's like a delicate balance. Like it's, you feel like you're a little wibbly wobbly because your feet aren't quite, you don't have quite the balance you'd like. You're tilted a little to the side to help give your feet that extra space you need. Like if you do, straight between it doesn't work. But if you go on an angle where your feet are sideways, then it's a little easier. And you're standing there. And after a couple of seconds, they go. The blades start moving around you.
Have I got enough space between me and the blades that I'm not going to get touched?
You didn't get touched because you specifically have very carefully moved between one and another.
Okay.
As you see going forward, there are some places where it would be easy to step and some places that you think would be more challenging to find a space between them, as there's like the space between the spikes becomes more random as you go forward.
And as they start up, I'll just turn back to the group and I'll say, what's with it with these weirdos and their like crazy death traps? Well, you just put a lock on your door. I don't understand it.
When has the lock ever kept you out?
Well, I don't go breaking into places.
Just saying, locks can be broken, but
We'll make the lock
sword
magical.
blade mouths, maybe a bit more of a deterrent.
I mean, yeah, it is a good deterrent. It's, well. I'm gonna, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna cast light on my Warhammer, cantrip, and then try and see if I can see anything towards the back of the tunnel. Anything that might turn these things off.
Do you have any sort of what's the range on light? Like what sort of light is it's giving you? Like another 30 feet?
Sheds a bright light in 20-foot radius and dim light for an extra 40. So extra 20. So it's like 40 total.
You don't really see anything.
All right.
So the saw is just around the door, like it doesn't go in to the space.
What do you mean?
It doesn't like pull out, and it just spins around the circumference.
It spins, but it does come out a bit. Yes, like it's as it whirs around it, like they jab up in different spots that they sort of poke out a little bit as well.
Okay.
I'm going to take out a copper piece and cast light on that instead, and then just flick it down the hallway as far as I can get it.
You flick it far enough that it sort of bounces off a wall and lands to the ground, and you can see that like the tunnel goes for like a. Give me a dexterity check to see how far you throw it.
Okay. My dexterity is 0, but I rolled a natural 20.
Oh,
Wonderful. You not only hit the end of the corridor, but you bounce it and send it skittering along in between. And you can see that the passage goes for probably like 60 feet and then starts to ramp upwards a little bit and then start to curve to the side, and you lose sight of it.
Is it like
It's like-
teeth all the way through, though?
Yeah.
All right.
Are there any runes anywhere that we can see?
East Broyle did a check and didn't find any, but if you want to do an Arcana check, you're welcome to do that as well.
All right. I got a 4.
There were some runes on the outside when you first arrived, and they've been worn down by time, so you think that there might have been some runes around the outside of the place, but there's nothing here that really gives you any sense of how to shut this stuff off.
You know what? I think we're just going to have to go through the mouth.
Can anyone, like, turn into a cloud and fly through all this? Look at everyone. And then, no, Zip can't. Bug might. And this burial?
Mog
yeah,
says,
that's a
you said
question.
something
It's
about
a very
sending
personal question.
you said something about sending a bat?
Yeah, Bug, why don't you send your bat? Just tell it not to like touch the sides.
Yeah. All right. All right. Fine. I summon the little bat. Is this like an object that you're trying to get at? Maybe I can tell the bat to go get it.
You have no idea what you're supposed to be doing other than trying to get through this passageway.
Just tell the bat to go and take a look around and then tell you what it sees.
Okay. All right. Fine. I tell the bat to explore, to see what's at the end of the tunnel, and
Right.
report back.
Give me an animal handling check.
Animal handling. Oh no, a 4.
The bat
Oh, wait.
flies off into the cave.
You never see it again.
And you can speak with animals, right? You have a speak with animal ability?
Yeah.
Is that something you can use at will, right?
Yeah.
So you say to it this, and it flies off going, "Darkness! Oh, finally! Not so bright." And it flaps in.
So are the saws like already activated everywhere, or is it just around Swell?
Just around Swell. And so I should describe better that like every once in a while Swell, like every few seconds, they start up again. And the ones maybe a few feet in front of you and the ones like the one behind you, they start whizzing and whirling around. But the ones much further ahead don't do that. As the bat flies through, they start to activate as it flaps through. And then they start, the spikes come out and spin around. They don't touch the bat, though. The bat is small enough and adept enough at flying that it manages to get through without getting mushed.
Maybe we could try and jam the saws.
I'll step out and wait for him to stop. Because I've got this blunt weapon that, I'll just try and bend a few of the teeth and maybe that'll stop it from moving.
Yeah, maybe they'll get jammed or something.
At this point, can I have finished casting Unseen Servant?
Sure.
At this point, I look, alright, let's go down about 60 feet and press any buttons that you find there. If you don't find any, just come back to me, or come back to me either way after 60 feet. So basically, I will just want him to go down to the furthest limit that he can away from me, and if it sees any buttons along the way, just press them. Buttons or glyphs.
It goes forward, and the blades and stuff start whirring around. Do you want to give me a dexterity saving throw for it?
Sure. Two.
Well, it has one hit point. And it goes forward and it just dissipates after getting hit by the spikes.
If the bat got through, why does the shapeless being not get through?
The bat was flying around the spikes.
Yeah,
I guess it isn't very smart, but
just stepped right onto them.
And the bat is a lot smaller.
oh, it is medium, right?
I'm going to sit down and start ritually casting Detect Magic.
I'm going to try and smack. I'm going to grab Swell's hammer and smack some of the teeth with it and try and bend them.
Give me a roll to hit.
Okay. What would that be a?
Just a D20 and add your regular attack bonus and proficiency bonus, your.
You should be
strength
proficient with warhammers.
Yeah. 13.
13. No problem. You're hitting something that's not moving. That's pretty easy to hit. Now give me some damage.
It is. Hold on. 1d8 if you're using single-handed, or 1d10.
Yeah, I'll be using it two-handed, smashing with a hammer.
All right.
Smashing it with a hammer.
I got a 4.
A 4. You do 4 damage to it, bending one of the blades, but hitting one of the blades, you get shocked by it for 3 points of damage.
Oh, hang on. I'm just going to re-roll that damage dice because of my great weapon fighting. That was a 1.
Also, that was lightning damage I just gave you, and I believe you're wearing the breastplate
I am.
that halves that, so you actually only take 1 point of damage.
So these are metal teeth, not stone.
Yeah.
Hang on.
How far away is that?
7 damage, actually.
First one's looking pretty dinged up.
Just the first tooth or the first row of teeth?
The first row of teeth.
The first couple of teeth in the front row.
Okay, I'm going to just keep hitting it like that until at least a quarter of the teeth are banged up.
Okay.
Do I have to keep rolling for it?
You can. I want you to keep rolling damage, and I'm going to roll damage back at you.
Oh wait, so what was the first lot of damage?
So because you're having it, because you're wearing the breastplate protects you from lightning. It was 1 point of damage.
Okay. Okay.
How wide is the space in between the things?
So when you first go in, it's probably like height-wise about 5 feet and width-wise about 4 feet. And then it starts getting smaller as you go along.
Okay, that's
So it
another
just goes-
6 damage.
Okay, and you take 2 back. You think the first one is pretty dinged up.
Okay.
If you want to do, like, are you doing testing where you, like, put your foot in to see whether it whirs?
Well,
or
now
moves?
that I've got about a quarter of them dinged up, I'm going to, like, step in the way that Swell did so that I'm in between the first 2.
So the first one, like, it goes, and it doesn't actually really move because you've dinged it up enough that it's jammed. But the second one still is coming up because you haven't done enough, like, you've only damaged the front one.
Okay, and sorry, how far is in between each row of teeth? It's like 5 feet?
Yeah,
So
about that.
I couldn't, like, lean in and get the second one, could I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Because you know you're fairly safe from the first one because the first one isn't going to spring to life.
Yeah. I'll just start smashing up the second one then.
All right. Give me some damage for the second one.
Rubbish. There we go. 8.
8 damage. All right, it's looking pretty dinged up. You take 2 damage.
Ow! Is it as dinged up as the first one?
No, because the first one you did 7 on the first attack, and then you did another attack.
Okay, well,
Basically, you're going to need to do 10 points of damage to each of the rows.
All right, I'm going to hit it again then.
All right.
That's another 7.
3 damage. So the second row is done.
I'm going to step in again.
All right. So now you're
I don't know
a
if I can
foot.
keep this up.
You've moved You've moved. What was it?
10 feet down 100 foot hallway.
Yeah.
This might not be the best way to do this.
Because Muriel just goes, ugh. And then he is going to cast. He kind of gestures and whistles sharply and will cast Bless on himself and oh dang, I don't have D3. Himself, Zip, and and Bug. So everybody for the next minute or so will get a D4 on any attack rolls or saving throws, and then he is basically going to sprint up until the point where it gets to about, like, it's hard for him. He cannot go further into it without bending down.
Like bending at all? Like, would you duck down?
You duck down a little bit, but at the point where he has to slow,
You probably could make it to, like, pretty far, like, just sort of ducking and making yourself, like, go.
Yeah.
If you go quickly, like a you know, with the Naruto run with your arms back, or
yeah.
like that kind of thing, you
Yeah.
could probably get through to the end. And you're,
He's gonna go ahead and try that.
all right. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You're blessed.
I know, but that's only a D4. That was an 8 total.
Okay. Are you wearing metal armor?
No.
Okay. So you're not going to get the shock. You're just going to get the blades. So the first part of the gauntlet that you run, you take 1 point of damage as it just sort of nicks your elbow. Give me another check as you're going to try and make another chunk of your way through.
Another save?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's better.
Oh, that's pretty good.
19 plus a D4. So that's 23.
All right. Yeah. The next one, you're like, oh, okay, I'm starting to get my hang of it. I got my footing. And you're racing through. I would like another check as you're getting closer to that coin that has been thrown and it's lit. You're getting into the what would have been a darker area, but you can see where you're going now, thankfully.
That is an 11.
An 11. Ooh, that point you get nicked for 5 points of damage. It you're getting a little bit cocky, and it dings you in the other arm, your right arm.
Once I get to a point where I can see that there's an ending to the circular row of teeth, like 30 feet or so.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go and cast Misty Step to get through the end without having to do another roll, but wherever that ends up being.
Sure. Okay, then give me one more check, and that's probably all you're going to need, unless you won it.
No, I think I'll be fine. Not doing it anymore. That was a 9.
A 9. Okay, so you are going to get hit by another 4 damage, and then poof, you Misty Step to the end. And there's like a doorway, sort of like the way you had been before, where it's like a solid red rock doorway, and you're like in a space between the blades and the wall like this. So you're just sort of like up against it. You okay?
Completely fine. Everything went perfectly well.
Is my detect magic being cast yet?
Your detect magic now activates.
Okay. Is there anything at the front?
You know that this is going to have some sort of, like, the only thing that you really gain from it is that there's also electrical current running through it. And so there's not only blade damage, but electrical damage.
Just go fast. It's a lot easier.
Gotta go fast.
Wait,
Is that?
is the bat still there, or did?
Oh, yeah. East Boreal, there's like a bat hanging above your head, like just up, because it can't go any further. There's just a wall, so it's basically hanging around up on the ceiling.
It's like a lake here.
You haven't really you haven't really examined your space, but you can sense that there's a bat.
I hear the little...
So you blessed me or something? You blessed the bug?
Yes.
Or-
It lasts for a minute. So I yell down the passage. I helped you out a little bit, but it will end soon. So if you want to come run down, I suggest doing so as fast as possible.
Is there a way
Alright.
to shut it off? Says Mog. Mog is much bigger than all of you.
Yeah. He thinks about this for a second and then starts to look around.
All right, give me a either investigation or perception check. I think investigation, please.
Okay. Okay. 15.
15. Sure enough, you do find appears to be a secret button on the wall. You're not sure what it does, but you could try it.
I don't know. I don't see anything. And then he pushes the button.
Okay, you hear a click and a...
I touch the nearest thingy. Or I put my finger toward the nearest thingy. I don't actually touch it.
Okay, it does not whir. And like standing there, it was still whirring like occasionally because it whirs when you're within a few feet of it. And so yeah, it was whirring, and the whirring has stopped.
Seems fine now.
Oh, nice. Good job.
I'm gonna touch it again. I'm gonna touch one of the ones that's busted and see if I get shocked again.
You do not get shocked anymore.
All right, that's good. All right, well, maybe we should go in before this thing like resets or something.
All right.
Yeah.
Mog and Sutran's, the giant and the tiny person scurry their way in.
While I'm waiting for them, I just play a little ditty on my to soothe myself and also to heal myself.
Okay.
Okay. We'll hurry.
It kind of forms like sorry, go on.
We will go to the end of the tunnel to join you.
Yeah, I'll
Is there no space for us to all stand in there?
I mean, there is, but like you're just standing in between sort of blades. But the blades aren't going, so you just have 1 foot on one side and 1 foot on the other side, and you.
And in front of us is a brick wall?
Basically, yeah. Well, not brick, rock.
Okay.
It's like organic looking.
Let's crack this open.
Is there anything about it, like any door handle or writing or keyhole? Or...
Your perception, natural perception, is giving you like a sense of like, oh, I think this should move, but you haven't found what it would be. If you do an investigation check, maybe you'll find something. A 15 found the secret button to stop it, but...
Can I help him on this check? I'll just be like,
sure.
That looks like a place. Oh, how about that?
So I might
roll with
assist
advantage.
someone else. My investigation passive is 14, but I'm not actually good at it.
Oh, right, because investigation is intelligence.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, I can try if you want to help me.
Sure. I will assist.
Hey, that's nice. 22.
22. Yeah, you think that there is no button to activate it. It's simply just pushing on it pretty hard, like it's a pressure door, and that should activate it.
Alright, bruises. Whoever wants to just push on it real hard.
You just call us
shove.
losers?
Bruises. But, I mean, same thing.
Okay.
Mog walks to the front and just goes, all right, and hits it as hard as she can, and it rumbles and slides up into the ceiling. I'm going to drop in a piece of artwork of what you guys see on the other side. But before I do, I want to give you guys a little bit of lore. You guys, in the past, like as players, you've probably heard of a monster called a beholder. A beholder is not something that in this world is normally a bad creature. It is usually an avatar of goodness. And the ones that you would know from traditional Dungeons & Dragons, those would be corrupted evil ones, sort of like the devil to an angel.
Okay.
And what you see before you is this dude. Let me try and put this on the top layer, so you can actually see it here. There we go. I have a description here, I think.
Is he doing dishes?
It's a shield. It's holding a shield in one of its...
I thought there was like a blue Chewbacca in the corner there as well, but it's just like a figurine or something, right?
Yeah, it's a blue baka.
A blue Baka.
Wait, so
The
is
door... The door opens into a red stone home with burbling fountain and green plants. In the center of the room is a large floating eyeball creature who booms. Who enters?
Some questers come here and search for answers about the Titans, as the Titans have come once again to threaten our land.
You are not allowed access to this library. Please leave.
Who is allowed access to this library?
No one is allowed access to this library. The knowledge in here is forbidden.
What good is a library if nobody can see it?
It is not a good library. That is why I am asking you to leave.
Why are you here then?
I am the guardian, protecting it. Pause for a second. I thought some of you might have had questions about what was actually in the space, so if you want to ask any more questions that my illustration does not give you or has intrigued you about something, go ahead and ask that, and I will answer that question, then we can jump back into the dialogue.
I need books.
You don't see
Are
books,
those-
but those things in the background and those sort of cross shapes, those look like scrolls.
What is
No,
the
not just a lot of
painting in
wine.
the back? Yeah, not wine. That painting on the back wall, or is it a stained glass window or something?
It's a tapestry, and it's of a woman with brown skin, and she is surrounded by urns and is in a wicker chair that looks very similar to the wicker chair that's beside the tapestry. And there's like some pillows and blankets on the floor there. And you can see over to the right is sort of the kitchen area. There's a stone stove and a bunch of bottles and pots and pans. And over to the left, it's more of like a dining area where people could sit down and eat together. And somehow the greenery growing in here seems unusual. Like there's obviously no real sunlight, but there is some sort of light that's glowing in here, some magical light.
Who's the blue guy?
There's like some clay figurine, kind of lumpy and misshapen.
What's the water stuff in the middle?
There's a fountain going, just burbling, making a fairly regular fountain, calm, relaxing noise.
And is a guardian floating in front of us?
He is floating. He's floating close to the ceiling. In there, it probably gets up to like 15 feet tall. In the next room, it might get up to 20.
Oriel kind of puts out his hands in sort of supplication and says, we understand that this knowledge is dark, but our need is great. And as you are the guardian, surely you must know some of its contents. Perhaps you may be able to filter this knowledge for us and tell us something so that we may protect our lands, as these titans have returned and they have kidnapped our masters. They are being controlled by those of even greater ill intent.
I'm going to answer that question, but I also want to give Swell a little bit of background information because you are a cleric.
Yes.
That this is basically sort of an avatar guardian of Zeo, who is the sun and light god.
Okay.
And is often known as sort of like the watchful eye in the sky that is of knowledge and of goodness and brightness and truth. And you're sometimes at odds with Zeo as Sunder creates these storm clouds that sometimes hides the earth from the sun or hides the sun from the earth and prevents that.
Dayman and Nightman.
Kind of, yeah. I also want to tell you guys, so far it hasn't been an issue. Anybody who is looking at it in a regular beholder, there's a beam from its central eye stalk, and anybody caught within that beam is in its anti-magic cone, and no magic works. However, this is not that type of beholder. This beholder's anybody within its beam, within its eyesight, can only tell the truth.
Okay.
So you're not compelled.
Oh, no.
You're not compelled to speak. So you don't have to say a single thing. But if you speak, you're either speaking truth or just saying something that isn't truth. Or like, I mean, you can't lie. Like if somebody says, "What's your favorite food?" You could say, a kitchen table, because it's clear that you're joking or something like that, right?
Okay.
But you can't answer with a lie. You can answer with a non sequitur. You can answer by saying like, "Well, what's your favorite food?"
Can I step in and put my weapon down and drop my shield and raise my hands and say?
I just wanted to respond to Priscilla's thing because
Sure.
Priscilla did have a thing that he wanted to respond to, but I wanted to give Swell that information that's in your head,
Okay.
and then you can do something. I do not care about your mission, but I do not know the knowledge either. I am the guardian of the information. I have not looked at it. It is forbidden even to me
How long have you been here?
for a long time.
Who
And you're
put you in
not
charge?
Not curious? Not even once?
Zeo has put me in charge.
Why does he get to decide what we're allowed to know?
Don't you have family that you miss?
Zeo is a god.
He's not my god.
He is all of our gods. He is the god of knowledge.
Hi,
And if he thinks
swell,
that this knowledge is too much.
Sunda is my god, but I understand Zio is all knowing and all powerful. But you must know that we need to know how to stop these titans. Very important that we learn so we can help the world. If we aren't able to stop them, then they might destroy everything.
The greater good is that you do not have this knowledge. Whatever petty problems you are facing, it is not worth the trouble of uncorking this genie.
There's a genie?
Oh, so there's a genie, is there?
It's a metaphor.
Oh, that's...
Um,
oh.
if this well is destroyed, so is this library. I hope you should realize. But also,
Well.
actually, Isabella kind of wants to look around and look at this home and look at the walls and try and get a sense of this guardian creature. Like, does it have a personality? Is it just a shapeless force that came out of nowhere?
Okay, so give me a perception check for Isburiel.
24 or 22.
Two. This is the home of a humanoid person. This is not the home of the Beholder. The Beholder is probably some sort of angelic summoned being. Maybe it's here all the time. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it gated in when people showed up. Or maybe it lives here the whole time, but it doesn't need sustenance. It doesn't poop. It doesn't need drink. Like, it is just a self-sustaining elemental force of Zio.
Who lives here?
Sorry, what was that?
He asks, who lives here?
No one lives here.
And do I get the sense that he can lie in this? Or that he doesn't?
You have no idea whether he can lie or not. You know the eye's facing your way.
Right. But is there, like, any dust on this thing? Does it look abandoned?
It looks abandoned.
Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't look like
But-
anybody had actually been here for a while.
Right. I mean, it doesn't. There isn't a lot of dust because there's no, like, it was sealed pretty tightly from the outside. So honestly, I don't know where the dust would come from. I don't know enough about science to understand why, like, skin flakes and whatever would eventually get inside there. I don't know, like, if objects decay and create their own dust over time. But yeah, I don't know.
Did he do anything when I put my shield and stuff down and walked in with my hands up? Like, they walked into the room?
Which room are you? Like, you're walking into the room with the fountain.
Yeah, just as I'm talking, as I was talking.
He says, if you try to come, like, up close, he's like, stand back. You must come no further. Any further attempt to enter this room will be met as aggression, and I will respond with violence. I do not wish to.
Then don't. We're not here to attack you. We're not here to hurt anybody. We're here to help the world.
But you do not know. Zio knows. He is knowledge. He knows that the knowledge here, even though it may help you in the small way that it can, it will hurt the world in general.
Well, that's life.
Can we
The world
speak?
is... Okay. So go ahead, bud.
Can we speak to Zio?
You may pray to Zio at any time you wish. Zio may not answer your prayers if you are not a devout servant of them.
Okay, but consider this. Knowledge is power.
And some power is terrible and should not be wielded.
Damn. He got me.
He does that to Zarati.
You know, you have a good point. Maybe we should just leave.
Isburiel, have you made a persuasion check at all yet?
No.
Can I assist you in one? Because I am also trained.
Can you give me what the gist of your persuasion is? Like,
I feel like we've kind of gone over the topics, just kind of like if we don't stop the Titans, they're going to destroy everything, including this library.
But surely he would want the library to be destroyed because he doesn't want anyone to know the knowledge.
And he's pretty adamantly said he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't want this knowledge to get out. Like, he doesn't care if you guys have some problem.
Okay, riddle me this, beholder. If this knowledge is so bad and you don't want anyone to know it, why don't you just destroy it?
I am not able to destroy it.
What if we destroy it for you?
If you are able to destroy it, that would be good. How would you go about doing this?
Well, I have a sword. I could cut the scrolls into pieces.
Unfortunately,
burn it, maybe.
Fire? I think fire could work, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
There's a tiny little flame.
Unfortunately, those things will not affect this library.
Why?
Because it has been enchanted and protected.
By whomst?
By the person who created it.
Who created it?
The person on the chair back there in the tapestry?
I believe that is what she looked like. Eravian.
Raven.
And
Why did
Mog
she
says,
create it?
that's whose house we're supposed to be coming to.
Ah, well, here we are.
Wait, so what happened to that person?
Eravian is long dead. It has been centuries since he lived.
Well, if you let us look at the books, we can figure out how to destroy it. We're very talented.
Maybe the knowledge of how to destroy them is in the scrolls. Ah.
And you wouldn't know because you have not looked inside the books.
I am not allowed to let you enter and look at that information. My instructions are to stop people from looking. It isn't to help it be destroyed.
What if we don't enter, but the books are brought over here, and we look at it over here?
Now you can make your persuasion check, because that is something that doesn't go against his fundamental belief system.
Is that with advantage because of Saul?
Yes.
Okay. That is a 23.
I'm not sure how this would work. You all must stay there. No one must enter the room.
Well, I have an animating force. It's not a person. It's simply a mindless thing that I can tell to fetch me things.
Like a mage hand?
Very similar. A little more independent. But I still have to alter it, and it has no will of its own. Or no soul. Have you heard of an unseen servant?
Yes.
I thought you might, being, an angelic being of ear.
I suppose it does not have a soul. And thus it does not count as a person.
We also have some animals. They are not people, per se. Although I don't know that the bat is quite about enough.
I am not allowed to let animals in either, unfortunately, for they
Like a
might.
magical animal.
We have a box.
Even if
Yeah,
they're
what about boxes?
boxes.
As
And you
well
look
as
at
a flourish.
Boxy, and Boxy is actually around the base of the fountain. I'm going to show you guys the fountain again. You see those little circles? Those are gemstones, and he's currently sucking down
Oh no.
like about his 8th gemstone.
Boxy!
Boxy!
Bad box!
You get your free dinner, Boxy. I'm not going to stop you.
The box is a living creature. I'm not allowed that to enter. But I believe the unseen servant would be acceptable. If you try to leave If you try to remove any of the things you take from this foyer, I will attack. You may examine it in this foyer.
Yeah, no, we're not going to take
Perfectly
anything with
understandable.
us.
Tell me then. I will be conducting some magic to summon the unseen silent, and he is going to start that again.
You will find the tranquil music of the fountain will help in your meditation.
Oh, excellent.
Good luck.
Charming fellow once he can pass his restrictions.
I'm gonna engage the beholder in polite conversation. Say, sir, what do you do when you're not here?
Whoa, I need a charisma check from Zip because Zip trying to do polite conversation is very out of character.
I got an 18.
18, wow.
Nice.
Very
We're rubbing
impressive.
off on her.
Maybe you're just trying to impress your older sister.
Yeah, I'm on my best behavior.
So, yeah,
What's your name?
I'm not at liberty to give away my name.
Can I give
Names
you a
have
name?
power. You
What
may
would you
call
like
me
us to
the
call you?
Beholder.
The beholder. I mean, it's not the best. What if I call you Holden? Holden the beholder. I like that. It's got a nice ring to it.
That is fine if that's what you wish to call me. It is
Okay.
not my name.
So what do you do when you're not hanging around here, Holden?
This is what I do. This is my sacred duty.
So you're just here all the time by yourself?
Yes,
What do you do for fun?
I sing
Oh, what do you sing?
all sorts of songs.
Can you sing one for me?
Certainly. Give me a second here.
He's a scat poet.
Skip it up, but out. Behold!
I chased a warlock about 24 blocks past galleys through alleys, not stopped by a door lock. He spun round with a wand, and the darkness he spawned was enough to scare my hair whiter than blonde. With a start and a spasm, I slew his phantasm, sent the warlock to the hell that probably still has him. For I'm the ever-loving Valkyrie, part hero, part banshee. The heralds call me Doomhilda. My weapon has surely blood spilled ya.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
know
no,
this one.
Doomhilda.
Yes, everyone knows her. She is a great hero.
I'll join in for the second verse.
All right, do you guys remember the did I give you the vampire one then?
I don't remember.
All right.
Maybe.
While sat round a campfire, I was attacked by a vampire. We rustled and tussled right into a damp briar. Thorns made blood ooze around my neck like a noose, but I made him a drink even better than booze. Maple syrup dyed red, so the bloodsucker fed. From that day forward, he drank tree blood instead. I'm the ever-loving Valkyrie, part hero, part banshee. The heralds call me Doomhilda. My potions have sure to have filled ya.
Have you heard the one about the Titan Slayers?
Yeah, do you want to learn a new song?
All right.
All right, we'll sing East Burial's Titan Slayer song, but I'll replace East Burial's name with my own. Like, Zip and the Titan Slayers slaying all day. And
Give me a performance check.
Natural 20.
No.
Oh my god.
All right. East Boreal.
Gonna take this back to his home plane.
East Boreal, can you give me a concentration check?
Oh no, that's mean.
Uh, 16.
16, all right. So, like, while Zip is singing this song, you're, like, seething with, oh, that's my song, what did it do? And
I can't stop though.
And the Beholder is quite impressed with it, and he starts humming it, and he's like, oh, very catchy. Very
Yeah,
catchy.
I think it's the next Doomhilda, actually.
It's very good. Slaying Titans is good work.
I know, right?
That's why we need this information.
Shh.
He says it's good.
This isn't. Don't
Sorry, I call
Don't
him a
kill the
he.
mood.
I shouldn't. I don't.
say. I'm gonna
Hey.
say, Holden, do you want to play some cards? I have a set of playing cards. I'm gonna bust them out. Like, do you know how to play Rummy? Let's play Rummy.
I don't care for rummy.
What about fish? Go fish.
No.
What about poker? I bet you've got a pretty good poker face.
All right. And he seems to have the ability to levitate things with his mind, so he holds his cards close, and you can see like the eyes coming around and peering at them.
The cards through the reflection of his eyes.
Does anybody else want to? Does anybody else want to play poker?
Yeah, we can.
Mog will join in too.
Yeah.
You guys will finish a hand of poker before East Boreal finishes the 10 minutes. So let's everybody roll a d20. Actually, no. First of all, what skill are you trying to use? Like, are you trying to bluff? Are you trying to intimidate? Are you trying to...
Yeah, I'm going to try to intimidate this giant beholder.
Right? Roll an intimidation check.
I'm going to use insight to try and read
I got a 9.
everyone's.
Okay.
What are we rolling for? Are we rolling?
Oh,
If you're playing poker, you can roll a die for whichever skill you're using to be better at the game.
19 total.
Ooh, Swell's reading the table.
Reading personal ticks.
Bug, are you playing?
Oh, I guess, yeah, I could. I would.
What skill do you want to use?
Sleight of hand. Can I use sleight of hand?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Bug's just gonna cheat. I love it.
He's got aces up his sleeve.
Got a 19.
Oh my
19.
god.
Oh. And Swell, what
Amazing.
was your check?
It was 19 as well.
Oh. So, I'm gonna roll. I rolled for Mog. I'm gonna roll for the Beholder. Okay. So the
about your
first hand ends up being that Swell and Bug are like the only two that are left at the end betting against each other, and now I need to have you guys roll a d6, and whoever gets the higher actually has the higher hand. Because you guys both got 19. So
Okay.
Bug has a great hand through cheating, and Swell has a great hand through reading the other people.
Oh no, I got a 2.
Got a 5.
All right, Swell. Even though Bug was cheating, you faked him out because he wasn't able to get all the cards he wanted. He only got one card that he wanted, and had ended up having 3 of a kind, and it was like, oh yeah, this should be really good. But you had 4 of a kind.
Wait,
And
what
they'd be
was
like, that's a pretty good hand, Bug. Yeah, you nearly had me. And I'll be like, boom, slam him down.
Full house. Is that a poker thing? I don't know how to play poker.
Full castle.
Full castle.
Full hovel hut. Thatch roof cottage.
Full dragon den. I don't know.
East Boreal, your unseen servant has arrived. Your unseen servant. What instruction do you give it?
All right. I'll less died so quickly. You should just be honest too. And why don't you go write down the titles of the scrolls and bring it back to us? And he gives it like a little pen and like a sheet of paper and something, just to give like a very quick overview of what is actually there in the library.
The unseen servant goes in, starts pulling out scrolls, looking at them,
Fold them back up when you get done with them.
rolls them back up, puts them back, goes through all of them. Hasn't written a single thing down yet. Has gone through like 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them. Hasn't written
No
anything
titles
down
in.
yet.
All right. As it goes as I see it kind of making his way around, I'll say, write down the first line in the scrolls, and then
Okay.
bring it back.
It does not write anything down.
Wait, is it? Are they not allowed to bring the book back or something?
Well, this just seems faster than bringing
Oh, no one.
like all of them at once.
We can get a
Eyes kinda
catalog. I'll say, oh, you know what? I bet they're enchanted, so we can't actually read them until we do something.
It's possible.
Yes, the scrolls
Oh,
are
wait,
all
ju-
blank.
Oh,
Oh. But where is the knowledge? Is it not in the scrolls then?
I believe they are in the scrolls.
Are the scrolls magic?
Yes.
Well,
Do-
bring one scroll, the first scroll, over to us, or us too.
Why don't you do your spell swell?
which
Your
one?
special spell.
Here, you have a scroll now, Esporial. It appears completely blank.
You kind of just hold it open.
Detect
to everyone else.
magic lasts for up to 10 minutes, so it'll be gone. Okay. I guess I'll just cast it. I'll cast detect magic this time instead of ritually casting it.
Okay.
Um,
You detect magic. So you know that this entire library space is enchanted with protection magic.
okay.
And you know that that includes the limits to there being fire in here. The scroll is protected from some sort of damage, and there is some sort of illusionary magic going on with the scrolls. You can sense that in the back corner of the room beyond that there is some magic in one of the chests, some sort of transmutation magic. You can sense that the tapestry has magic in it as well, that the tapestry has some sort of like portal-like magic,
Really?
and that let me see, there's
Or we've seen that before.
one of the bottles of wine in the kitchen is also magical, and I just gotta scroll up out of the songs to the magical information here.
I'll relay all of this information to my friend.
It is like almost like a wild magic to it. The wine.
Really? Okay.
And it's, you feel like should you try to damage the scrolls, it would hurt you. That there's like that blowback in the same way that striking the metal gave you that electrical shock.
Right.
That this is a common theme for this enchanter, that like you try to damage this thing, like
You'll take
one
it.
action creates a reaction.
Okay.
And in that room beyond, you can sense there's some sort of creation magic in one of the urns. There are a bunch of urns in the other room. If you angle yourself sort of going into the kitchen or going into the dining room, you can sort of get an angle on at least the far wall in that other room.
Okay. Man. Alright. And nothing on the scroll itself?
Oh, well, like I said, the scroll has some sort of protective magic on it and some sort of illusory magic on it.
Okay. Can I ask the unseen servant to turn it around for me? Will it respond to me?
Yeah, it'll do that, even though East Boreal hasn't specifically said it. It doesn't. You seem to be an ally. It will respond to you.
Is there to hold it? Is there a trick to these?
Yes, there is.
Can you tell us?
No, I do not know the trick.
Oh,
All I know is I am here to guard it.
You know who would know the trick?
Obviously, Eravian would. But she has long since passed. Zio would know, as Zio knows all.
Can you ask Theo?
That is not something I will do, no.
Would Sutran know?
Sutran. Sutran has been going through Boxy and taking out some paper and pen, has been writing something down while you guys have been doing this.
I'll ask Mog if her dad gave her any more information about this.
So Mog says, no, I don't really know anything. I knew that this place was apparently full of, or had the information, but I had to go through a lot of different people to track this down. It's been pretty difficult to find out.
Did Titus ever come here?
No, Titus didn't know about this place. Titus had heard whispers and rumors of it, but after the Second Orphan War, he didn't want to set foot back in the Glass Dominion, so he kind of left it alone. I think he might have mentioned it to maybe one of the other Titan Slayers, but he said that he had never really. He thought it would be a worthy quest for me to prove myself. Bug, you can go over to see what Sutran has been writing down. So she's written down, holy cats, that woman in the tapestry looks like she's related to me.
Oh,
I thought so. Oh, what is
really?
like with the moment when she was like busy doing things.
Here's the thing: how does Sutran know that? Because she doesn't have eyes.
She can see.
Magical.
Interesting.
Magic.
Says,
Wait, this is your memory?
Do you remember?
I heard that you said there's some sort of portal magic. Can they bring the tapestry over?
Let's bring the tapestry over.
All right. I'm going to drop in an image of the tapestry. Get a new layer here.
Oh yeah, I see
Remember
the
what you?
cuticles kind of have a resemblance.
He does have
I
that
can
sort of
see
like light brown skin tone, long,
veiny.
slender fingers.
Disembodied hands, 4,000 years. Look.
You can kind of see the resemblance.
And so the unseen servant is holding this up, and on the back of it, you can see there's all sorts of runes and stuff stitched into it, and you can see there are runes stitched around the outside of it.
Oh, does the beholder know who this is?
Yeah, it's the wizard that made this
Oh,
place.
it's the owner of this place.
No, because unless that's not Arabian, right? Alden, is this Arabian?
I believe it is, but I do not know for certain.
So, Sutran, you said you think you're related to this person?
Well, she writes down, well, she looks a lot like one of my grandmothers.
You remember what you look like? Do you remember your family name?
I totally remember what I look like. I remember
Okay.
I have gaps in my memory, but I can remember what this woman looks familiar to me. Not exactly. I do not recognize her clothes or the necklace or the bird. But those eyes, that smile.
Actually, does the name Arabian or the image or like all the associated iconography here call up anything?
Give me a history check then. Or if you have another, like if you want to do it Arcana related or nature related, I don't know. But I assume you're asking Arcana
Yeah,
wise.
they're all the same. So history. Yeah. So that's an 8.
An 8. History wise, this stuff hasn't been in fashion for a while. This is probably a couple hundred years old. Maybe only 100 years old.
And Sutran's pretty old as well, right?
She didn't know how
Sutran,
long she was there, right?
Sutran is been there for, I think she said maybe for decades,
Okay.
but I don't think she said centuries.
Detect magic should still be up. Is there anything special about it now that we can see it a bit closer, or is it just that?
It's still, you know that there's portal magic involved in this.
Okay.
Probably those runes.
Do the eyes follow us? Like the
No.
painting?
No.
I'm gonna
Anyone do anything to identify the sort of thing?
Well, it's given off like some pretty heavy portal magic.
Can
Can
I try and
I,
examine it? Oh, go ahead.
can I put my hand on it
You put your hand on it and it just feels like a smooth tapestry.
so it doesn't go into it?
Your hand does not go into it.
Do the runes look like the circular runes of the succubus?
Yeah.
Give me an Arcana check.
13.
13. It doesn't really look like that, no.
Do they look like the runes that I scratched off from that other mysterious woman?
No, because both of those runes look very similar. These runes look fairly different.
Oh, I'm gonna sit down and start casting comprehend languages ritually.
Okay.
I'll hold up a finger and say, if you give me 10 minutes, I should be able to, if these are a language, I should be able to read it.
All right, hold on, double or nothing.
Was there anything on the back of?
Lots of runes were on the back of it.
Oh, okay.
What are you in for? What do you got that you can bet?
I do not have anything. Well, let me see. I will heal your injuries from coming in the door.
Oh yeah? Okay, well, I will bet what do I have? What do I have that I can
Embarrassing secret.
I will bet this deck of playing cards. So if you win, keep them. If I win, yeah, you heal me.
Sounds reasonable.
I'm going to teach Holden how to play solitaire.
Yeah, I'll
After we
teach you how to
go.
play Solitaire. You can pass the
I
time.
know solitaire,
Oh.
but I appreciate the thought. How are you going to... What skill check are you going to use this time? You can use the same one, or you can pick something different.
Can I use perception?
Sure. You're trying to perceive. That would be like what Boya had suggested, is seeing if you can see the cards reflected in the eye or something.
Yeah. I got an 18 that time.
Right.
I know this deck of cards pretty well. I know like how they're creased and stuff like that. So maybe I can kind of tell what cards he's got.
Okay. So with that good perception check, he doesn't have hands in front of the cards, so he's not even hiding the wrinkles and stuff very well because they're just floating in front. And you totally know what hand he has. And you know he's got a pretty good hand. He's got 2 pairs. But you think that you can bluff him out of it. So if you give me an intimidation check and you get over 13,
Got an 18.
all right, then you successfully, he's like, oh, no, oh, fine. And you win.
Yes.
And are you going to show him that you had worse cards than him, or are you going to keep them a secret? Because you don't
I'll
have
show
to
him.
show.
I'll show him.
Oh,
I'll be like,
rats.
haha, look. I gotcha.
And then one of his eye stalks looks at you and pew! he heals you for 10 damage, or like heals 10 damage.
Phew.
Is that enough? Or
Yeah, that's it. That took me all the way back up. Man, that comes in handy. Have you ever had to go through that door?
No,
It's pretty rough.
it looks
Would
like
he
it.
even fit through that last ring?
I would not fit through any of them. I would.
Yeah.
Would you, okay, if you had to leave this place, would you just teleport out? Or would you have to physically go through the door?
I will not give that information away.
I mean, I just meant it as like a hypothetical. Okay, what if?
Okay, Esporial, what spell was it you were doing? Comprehend languages. You cannot make heads or tails of the language that the stuff around the outside is written in.
Can I make an Arcana check on it to see if I can recognize any of the symbols? Are they the same from the portal and the succubus room?
Sure.
Succubi painting. And I'm also interested in the jars and everything in there, because it looks like there's a jar of animals similar to what I guess Bug has. He's got like a bag of critters or whatever, and then jar of wind and all sorts of stuff.
So give me an Arcana check.
Oh, that is an 8.
8. You see in the writing and the outside of it, you think it reminds you of the old magic, of the stuff that
Okay.
Sister Sweet Tooth would be doing. You may have seen some writings in her, books or whatever. And with an 8, you're not going to get much more than that.
No, I wouldn't think so. But the fact that it's the old magic, I'll say that wrongly. Oh, it looks like some of the stuff Sister Sweet Tooth was using. Some of the same runes. But I mean,
I want to point out that if you want Sutran to do a check on something, you guys have to ask for it, because I'm not going to volunteer it just because I don't want to railroad you guys.
close.
Are we allowed
That's fine,
to
half.
take the painting out of the house?
No, you may not take any objects out of the library.
But the kitchen. If we're hungry.
If there is any food there worth having, you are welcome to it.
How about that bottle of wine?
I don't see how wine is going to help you figure this out. It will only cloud your mind, young man.
It'll help
Make
us
me feel
relax.
better.
Yeah.
What, do you eat anything, Holden?
No.
Oh, yes. The way. And actually, so he while presumably horseman is the one, Esperial Princess Sutran says, do you know much of the old magic?
Sorry, you're asking who was that?
Sutran.
She writes down, I do not know the old magic. I know regular wizard stuff. I was gifted. I didn't learn the old magic.
Interesting.
She says, I got a bad roll. She doesn't really know.
It definitely looks like a conjurer of some sort, even if it may be an old magic style. It actually reminds me a little bit of my aunt. But
She's got a lot of animals there.
They're very-
Suspiciously, a lot of animals.
The
Think she was a
desert,
druid?
the desert cat looks adorable. Like, you could use a good pet.
conjurers also sometimes have lots of creatures around them.
Do you think that the
Right.
secret knowledge is how to make chimeras? Do you think she was into that?
None of these creatures look like chimeras.
Yeah, but
Log.
maybe.
Mog says, no, she knows about the Titans. Come on, sis. She gives you a little noogie.
Come on. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
She kind of pushes you into the tapestry a little bit, and like your hand sort of goes into it a little bit.
I I touched it before, and
I know you did.
I'm gonna stick my hand in again.
All right, you can feel like you can sort of feel like you can touch things in there a little bit.
I'm gonna grab something out of it.
What are you going to try and grab?
I'm gonna try and grab the ghost bottle.
Okay, so you grab the ghost bottle and you try to pull it out and it won't come out, but you feel like you could move it around within, like you could set it down on the chair edge or put it over more on the somewhere else on the shelf.
Okay. I'm gonna put it on the shelf. I'm gonna grab one of the glasses of wine and pour it on the lady.
Okay, so you pick up the glasses, and as you pick up the glass, the other one floats with it. And you go to put it on the lady, and it like, as you tilt it, your hand slips right out of the painting or the tapestry, and you are now holding a pair of glasses,
Like,
spectacles.
How do you like that, huh? Magickas?
Hey,
Who's the
pushing
magic
around
one
your little
here?
sister's good for us.
I'm gonna
but
touch the tapestry.
I tried that before, and it didn't work.
Yeah, you just don't have the special touch.
I tried touching it as well, and it did nothing for me.
Wait, who? Hold
I'm gonna
it.
touch the tapestry.
You can totally put your hand in.
Inside?
You can totally do the same thing that she was doing, yeah.
Bud, try touch it.
Okay, can I also do it?
Yeah.
I put my hand in.
Yeah.
We're all just like groping
Can
around
I-
inside the painting.
All right.
Can I? Is it possible to uncork some of these things?
Uncork. Oh, you mean like
the big vases on the left? Like it looks like they have lids.
yeah. You uncork them, and there's like nothing, no reaction from it. There doesn't seem to be anything contained within any of them.
Can I pick up the cat and put it in the pink vase?
The cat disappears into the pink vase.
Can I look through the spectacles that I pulled out?
Okay, you're wearing the spectacles. You can see as well as you could see without them.
Look at the look. What is one of those scrolls? Look at one of the scrolls.
Oh, yeah. Give me a scroll.
Try to pick up the scroll.
So you pick up the scroll that the unseen servant had put on the floor to pick this up, and you can read the scroll.
Is it in a language that I can understand?
What languages can you
that
understand?
scroll. Okay.
Common and Elvish.
Yes, it's in common.
Okay, I'm gonna
It
start.
is in a dialect of common that is a little bit more antiquated. So it'd be like, if you were reading like a letter from the Civil War or something,
Right.
where you'd be like, "Oh, my beloved, I bequeath to you." Like there's like some weird word choices, but
Right.
you can read it.
It's like, hark all ye who. I'm gonna start reading it out loud. Who
You mispronounce words.
who come for this knowledge? It is forbidden and evil.
You have the
I don't
best
know what
reading
scroll
style
says.
of anyone I've ever met.
Listen, it's kind of hard to make out, all right? It's in like a chicken scratch. And also, I don't need spectacles normally.
I'm going to try and touch the tapestry as well. Is it still
Tapestry does not let you in.
really?
Well,
Okay.
Because of your heathen god?
I'm
Not
going.
a heathen? You're
I would like
heathens.
to pick up the scroll that's in her lap and see if I can unroll it. Can I pull it out?
You can unroll it, and you can't
unroll
pull it out. And it says, "Make a spectacle of yourself."
Sure. So what does her knee feel like, or her hand, when I'm pulling it out from under her hands, or does it just like
It-
not feel like anything?
Everything kind of feels like it's made out of clay. Like it
Okay.
doesn't. Like she doesn't feel warm, and the cat, it felt didn't really feel fuzzy. It felt more like you were moving a sculpture around.
I'm going to go back and try to put the dragon into the little fire vase.
It will not fit.
Okay. How about the bird in the wind vase?
When you touch the bird, it says, "Let me go, Four Eyes."
Who's Four
We
Eyes?
have the one, the two. Let me go, Fell Eyes.
Sutran says, it was probably a clue to figure out to pick up the glasses.
Oh.
I just figured that out on my own.
I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
keep poking
Ten
the
10 steps
tapestry.
ahead of this lady.
By knocking
keep
things around
poking it.
accidentally.
What do you see through the glasses? Is it normal?
The tapestry?
Or is it just you with the glasses you can read the scroll?
Yeah, I can read the scroll. Okay, so does the scroll? What does the scroll say? Is it interesting? Does it have interesting information?
I'm gonna take my glove off, so it's just bare skin. Can I does it go in?
Swell, no, it does not go in.
What?
Why?
So offended by the fact that you're God for these things.
This is wow.
Oh,
Listen, I've heard about religious persecution, but this is
So
probably because you're heathens. I think that's why.
it's going to take you.
Well,
It's going to take you some time to get through these scrolls and to find the information you need. But now that you have the glasses and you have some time, you're not being attacked by anything, you can gather some information. So I'm going to give you a bit of a lore dump here from what you're able to glean from it.
My typing fingers are ready.
Are you uncorking the magic bottle of wine or a regular bottle of wine?
Regular bottle of wine first, but I passed the magic bottle. Well, actually, I don't know that the. Wait, no, he said it. Okay, I passed the
Yeah, I
magic
told
bottle of wine
everyone.
to Swell.
So as you're having a drink, and Boxy has finished off all of the gems that he can find at low levels in the rooms, when you sit down to read Arabian Scrolls, you find a lot of them are journals of her experiences. A lot of heartfelt emotion of family, infighting, love, pentagons, moments of deep sadness and great joy. You get the picture of an adventurer who is not gifted but uses the old ways to do magic. Spurned for using blood, she sought the creation power of clay, to use the power of the planet itself, believing it to be magical and otherworldly. She also sought the magic of words, the power they have over people and even gods through prayers. Eravian wanted to find out more about this soil and joined a group who wanted to uncover where the Titans came from, thinking them daft but dependable. She met some of the sectons who lived in the tunnel kingdoms and queendoms, insect people who spoke in clicks and whirs. They found terrible creatures best to be avoided when they were underground. They came upon a pyramid. It was filled with traps and guardians. At the bottom was a sleeping Titan. It was a creature of stone and heat, a living hearth. They approached, and Eravian collected some of the stone that had chipped off its exterior to examine. She describes the feeling of warmth and love it gave off. It made them feel, her whole party, like being around a fireplace at a tavern. They felt like they could hear a haunting music and the smell of exotic cooking. Made them feel like home. It rose and spoke to them in their minds about wanting to give them a warm, safe home. But they could tell it was sad because it was not at home itself. The ever-burning hearth was not sure where he was or why it had been asleep, but it wanted to find more of its kind. But when it left the ziggurat, a troop of sectons were there. They could not, Eravian and her friends, could not understand the sectons' words, but the hearth waved his hand and sent Eravian and her party home. Eravian, having been banished to the surface, spent time studying her samples of the hearth, using the old magic to understand. She believes that Haelon's rings came from a series of impacts with comets that targeted here, that their impact may have wiped out most life and buried forces from beyond beneath the surface. Powerful aliens. But what are they and where did they come from? And what are the pyramids? Why pyramids? All of these things she wonders but found no answers to. She theorizes it has something to do with the gods, that they're hiding something from us. And so she will hide her research away from those who serve the gods. And there isn't much more beyond that you gather as far as this lore dump. But I will also point out that during this time, Sutran has been writing some stuff down. And
Oh.
go ahead.
I was gonna ask of Suchan's parents' names or like older relatives that may be mentioned. A few hundred years.
She does recognize family names. Yeah, that she thinks that this is, great great grandmother, and she says, "Can we please try and get some of the stuff that's in the other room that isn't the scrolls, the other magic stuff? Because if there's some clay in there, we might be able to do some magic with it. If I've read enough of... I think I've gleaned some stuff from her descriptions of how she would use it. Because, like, Zip would read what was on the scroll and sort of skip over some stuff. But she'd say, like, no, read that. I want to hear that. And you'd maybe give a little more instruction. Like, she was able to maybe figure out some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Isbro is probably periodically recasting the Unseen Servant spell, and this time on, like, Horus 5 or whatever, and ask them to bring any pieces of earth or clay that it finds. Maybe some of those figurines, actually.
I will say that there was some magic items in that room. That
There was a chest and there was an urn.
Did the figurine, the little blue figurine, light up at all?
No.
Does it look like it's made out of clay?
Yeah.
We're so fascinated with it.
Yeah, I'm taking it. Bring that over here.
You're allowed to go in there because that's the dining room.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
The dining room, the kitchen, and the foyer, he doesn't care if you are in that area. He cares if you
Okay,
try to
that's a lot
get into
more
the library, because that's what he's supposed to be guarding.
Okay, so if I pick up the little figurine and look around, is there anything special about it?
There isn't. And
Okay.
this
If
is
I just look
happening...
at the base, does it have like a number out of like another number, limited
No.
edition or anything?
It looks like it was maybe made by like a very naive person.
Okay.
So perhaps a child, or perhaps somebody who is just starting with clay.
Put it back.
You were doing this while the scrolls are being read.
Sure.
Holden has a reaction to all of this. He says, The words you say are making me question whether I should have let you read that. But it's also making me question whether I should be guarding this or not.
You're having a bit of an existential crisis there, buddy.
It seems as if the gods had reason to hide this away. I don't think I can let you leave with this knowledge.
Well, we did
What?
promise. We did promise to destroy this as we could.
But you cannot wipe your minds of this information.
Hold
And so- It's
You haven't seen me drink enough of this wine.
it's 9:45, and you were going to roll initiative next week when we start. He's going to start fighting you guys.
Holden,
This is going to
no.
be the saddest fight ever.
I don't want to beat Holden. Maybe we can challenge him to another poker match.
Maybe, but we'll figure it out next week. And he's going to start attacking next week.
No.
I was really impressed. I thought you guys found a way to get past this dogmatic guardian. You guys, one of the things I love about all of you as players is you don't jump to combat, and you regularly find ways to avoid fights, and I'm really proud of you guys for doing that.
Pretty amazing for Zip.
Pardon? What was that?
Which is pretty amazing for Zip.
It really is.
Yeah.
I'm not
being
good
bad.
at anything else.
We're being bad influences on her.
I'm going to take, when I level up, I'm going to take a level in gambler instead of fighter. Yeah, that was a bit of a heavy lore episode. A little bit, not a lot of super duper action, but I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Answers.
Yeah, getting some answers to these questions, but giving you more questions at the same time.
I'm questioning
Anybody
what the Titans are now. Are our masters evil and they're just trying to kill everything? Or are they actually trying to save the world?
Well, they are aliens from the sound of it.
Yeah, but this ever-burning hearth doesn't sound like an evil entity.
Maybe it's been corrupted.
I'm also wondering if this this person who was studying them is, I don't know, not a good person either.
I should also say that Bug, while this information was being read to you when you were hearing about a ziggurat and buried titans, you felt a glimmer in your amulet. You felt a sense of warmth and friendship glowing within you, and you felt connected to the force that gives you magic, and you felt connected to your friends.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, didn't you have some kind of quest from your patron or something?
Did I? No.
Yeah.
You forgot about it.
I'm thinking about the pyramid that we passed on the first island as well, that we weren't allowed inside.
Said that
yeah.
people that go in don't come out.
Was it a ziggurat?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
A smooth. Okay.
So we could have found out where the Titans come from earlier.
You might, maybe not.
Maybe we would have just died.
Maybe we'll just.
We are 2 whole levels higher.
That's true. That's true.
And you've got a new companion. I didn't have Mog do a lot here because she's a fighter, so she's not going to be super useful at decrypting magic and stuff.
Yeah, like Zip, she's just distracting the guy who is maybe gonna start asking too many questions.
Also, a beholder at level 4. I don't know if we're going to be able to survive that. That's.
I think we need to get out of this one on our wits and charm.
Well, I don't, as I said, it's not the beholder out of the book, right?
Right.
This is, one of its rays is healing. And you do have a fighter with you, an additional fighter who I will tell you is 5th level.
Well,
As Mog's been gone a little longer than you.
Passing me in every way.
Yeah. But thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks to all the players for playing along. I had fun tonight, and may all your marks be magical. We have 1 more week we're doing, and then we're going to have 2 weeks off, as a couple of us are going to be camping and getting mosquito bitten. And then we'll be back to regular schedule, maybe celebrating our year together, our first year in August.
in a year.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. Take care.
Right.
Bye.
Night.